We treat convicted murderers and pedophiles better than those people in there who have not been charged with any crime at all. There are people being robbed, raped, domestic violence situations, and they're too scared to call the cops because they think they're going to be taken away to places like this.
You want to see what real independent journalism funded by the people for the people looks like?
You ever heard a story like this in America?
You're looking at it.
Congratulations for always being somewhere where mainstream media is not.
Flint, Michigan.
See you in Nevada.
Thanks to people like you, we can get the truth. Corporate media, they've been lying to us for years, and you're going straight to the people.
You are the man. I'm glad you're here.
For as low as 16 cents a day, you'll keep us on the ground, covering the important stories the corporate media covers up.
We just watched a woman across the street, just for holding the sign, simple action, get arrested.
Can I tell you something, too? The arrests that they're doing of the people in this street are against the rules. It's against Illinois demonstration actions, and it's against the July 2025 Know Your Rights pamphlet that Kwame Raoul, the Illinois Attorney General, put out. He said that public places are sidewalks, parks, and roadways. If an officer asks you to leave the roadway, it can only be because you are obstructing or there is a safety concern. Take a look over there. This entire street is blocked off. Every traffic that comes through here has to wait until they clear it. So why can't we go in the street? Why do we get arrested for going in the street? That is a public space. And according to our Illinois Constitution, we have every right to stand there as long as we are not impeding traffic or have a safety concern. They make up the rules every single day. They choose what to enforce and they choose not to. And they are the ones that are firing up the tension, because I'll tell you something. If they gave us actual rules that they applied consistently, then at least we would know what to follow. They don't. They decide, oh, I want to take that person. Oh, I don't want to take that person. The thing I find most just horrifying is the fact that there is no logical or legal reason why we have to stand here specifically. Why can't we be across the facility with the barriers? Why not? Because they don't want ICE to hear us, because they want us to protest in a way that's convenient for them so they can ignore us, because protest only works if it's disruptive. That is the point of it, right? And so if I was actually able to talk to ICE, I would do what I do. I take the court documents, the documents that were filed by the human beings that were inside that facility about their experiences that they justify or they testified to in a court of law, okay? And I read that to them, and I read it to the officers, because if they're going to stand here being complicit, do it 10 toes down. Say that I support the inhumane treatment and the laws being broken inside that building. But don't act like you didn't watch the news or you don't really know what's happening. I come down here to make sure everybody knows what's happening in there. No one can say that they didn't know.
You're talking about some of those inhumane conditions inside. Can you just list off a few? We've covered them here on our channel before as well, but can you just list off a few that you found particularly objectionable?
The fact that a room that is supposed to have a capacity of 80 is holding between 150 to 200 people. The fact that they keep the lights on all day and night, which is considered a form of torture coming out of Guantanamo Bay. People are supposed to be able to sleep. The fact that they keep them in their clothes for several days. They don't, in Department of Corrections, they give you clothing, because you're not supposed to be in the same clothing for several days. There are no working showers in there. They have no blankets, no pillows. They are using aluminum blankets that some of them get, right? And then when someone leaves, all of a sudden they can use their blanket. They don't, they have a toilet in view of all the men and the women and the agents. There is no privacy. They give no menstruation products to women who need them. And they also feed them, depending on their mood, anything from a piece of bread with mayonnaise on it, a single tortilla, or a small Subway sandwich. They give them bottles of water, sometimes 8 ounces, sometimes 16, and they have to decide if they want to use that water to drink or to wash their bodies. They get no toothpaste, they get no toothbrushes, no soap, any kind of sanitizer, no medications. They beat the shit out of these people in the street, and then they bring them in there and they throw them in a room with no medical attention. They break their ribs, they hit their faces, nothing. It's egregious. And anybody who is in that building and has seen what they do is complicit and has no humanity and no conscience left. Because I don't give a shit what you tell yourself at night. If you can see how those people are being treated less than human, you're not human. And I'll tell you something else. We treat convicted murderers and pedophiles better than those people in there who have not been charged with any crime at all. They don't charge them with anything. And then it's up to them to get out of the system, to pay the money, to go to the courts. Everything they say is law, and then you got to get out. It's unconscionable. And the reason that they do it is so they can get their deportation numbers, so that Trump can put them up and say that he did something better than Obama. I can't even get into the fact that being unlawfully present is a civil offense that has no criminal charges, not a misdemeanor, it's not a felony, and that in order to charge them with a misdemeanor, they have to have proof that the person illegally entered the country, which most of the times you don't have, because 40% of the people here came on visas and overstayed. So they don't apply under that. Second of all, that law has a 5-year statute of limitation. So for the people who've been here for 20 years, there's no way they could charge them with that misdemeanor. There's no way, which means that they are civilly being held and their punishment is just deportation. That's it. It's not like they get thrown in jail and then deported just for unlawfully being here. And then people want to say, oh, well, they can just go out and come back in. They can't come back for 10 years. They lose their house, their family, their business. Then they go to a country they haven't been to in 20 years where they have no business, no contacts, don't know where their next meal is coming from. We put fucking murderers in jail and we give them 3 hots and a cot. Come on. We're going to treat these people who've been paying taxes and contributing, and we're going to just throw them out on their ass for 10 years and say, try again? It's unconscionable. You take the money that we're giving ICE, you cut it in fourths. You use 3/4 of it to give everybody amnesty, to make the immigration process free and quick. You get these people, you check out who they are. If they're not criminals, why can't they be in this country legally? Because we make money off of them not being legal. We get to pay them lower wages. We like the fact that they're not legal because they can't exercise their rights like the rest of us can.
To what extent is all that pain and suffering, to your mind, a distraction from things like Jeffrey Epstein for the president?
Well, he's trying to bomb Venezuela now. He will do anything. He is a cornered rat, right? He will do anything to distract, and he doesn't care who gets hurt. He took 43 million people's food away to prove a point, because he wanted to win a negotiation. He doesn't care about human beings. He cares about himself, number one. So yes, anything that gets the heat off of him, anything that gets, and that's why I'm so mad at corporate media, anything that gets them to follow the ball, he'll insult journalism, so then they'll all talk about how they're being persecuted by him. He will do anything he can to be able to run the game on the government, take as much money as he possibly can, fill his pockets, hide it, make all of his fucking donors happy. Because he doesn't give a shit about a human being. He doesn't care. He allegedly was found civilly liable for raping a woman. He allegedly is in all of these articles talking about how, little girls and how he knew. In a 2022 article, he says him and Jeff Epstein have beautiful women and most of them are young. I mean, this man has always been disgusting. But his supporters don't care because he makes them feel good about themselves. He feeds them the lies that make them feel like they have an explanation for what's going on in the world.
How does it make you feel as someone presumably from the Chicagoland area?
Fifth generation.
Fifth generation Chicagoland resident. So, Chicago resident. Okay, let me be sure to give you your full credit. So how does it make you feel as someone from Chicago that all this pain and suffering inflicted on your community is just a distraction?
Well, it's disgusting. Our city, as beautiful as it is, has such a horrible, racist, segregationist past. There has been so much intentional disinvestment in education and opportunity to create centers where you can then take people away from their families and lock them in prison and do a loophole on the 13th Amendment and use their prison for private prison labor for pennies on the dollar. They use these neighborhoods as revenue sucks. And then they leave them to fend for themselves and then point to them and tell them they're violent. They're trying to do the same thing to this community. They completely decimated Little Village, which is the second largest shopping district in the whole city of Chicago. 75th and South Shore. They took all those people, claimed 37 of them were Tren de Aragua. Well, it turns out from ProPublica, which we'll talk about, most of them weren't even charged with anything. They terrorized those children in that building. They terrorized all the people that they zip-tied, that they stole. For no reason. And now we have to pick up the pieces. We have to reinvest in these communities. We have to make sure that everything doesn't fall to shit now in crime. Crime calls are down 21% in Little Village. There are people being robbed, raped, domestic violence situations, and they're too scared to call the cops because they think they're going to be taken away to places like this. It's unconscionable. It's despicable.
This will never be normalized. I will never become numb to the fact that this is normal. I will never be convinced this behavior in America is normal because I was taught different. We were taught different. We all learned the same shit, guys. We all learned the same shit. We know what America stands for. We know what America stands for. You guys learned the same shit as us. You guys don't get paid extra to treat us like shit. You need to stand down. You guys need to leave us alone.
How do you just forget what it is to be an American? How do you forget?
We are the American people. You guys are hurting us. You guys are injuring people, old people, veterans, children, mothers, women. You guys are hurting people. You guys are hurting people. Just because you're wearing a badge doesn't mean it's all right. Just because you guys have a badge and the state sanctions it does not mean it's all right. It's still violence. The amount of emotional trauma I have experienced since coming down here. I have CPTSD, and I am telling you, every single fucking time I come down here, my nervous system is fried. This is violence. This is violence. You guys have 60 cops here, half of them in riot gear for 58 peaceful protesters. For what? For what? You guys don't get paid extra for this. And Chief Mills is just as guilty if he doesn't assault us because he stands by and watches. He is guilty by association. He might not be a violent cop, but he is guilty by association. He stands by and watches his unified command beat the shit out of peaceful people.